Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to part 2 of figuring out what this death wobble is. Alright guys, so I drove the car today to work and drove straight in here, jacked it up, and it's about 8 o'clock now, so it should be cooled down. I'm going to do the spark plugs first, so hopefully we can get to all of them underneath. I haven't done a spark plug change on this just yet, so hopefully it's easy enough. Once that's all done, we'll go for the engine mounts. As you can tell, I've already got the engine stand here, ready to lift up the engine just a little bit so I can get in and do the engine mounts. I have to disconnect the pitched up mount as well, and I'll take this one off here because we'll probably lift it up a few centimeters. I'm pretty sure everything else is okay. Stay connected. Alright, got my first one out, which is the left front, and I didn't actually look at my new ones to see how long the threads were. It's taken forever. But that out. Let's get the new one in. Right, so they're already gapped at 0.7, so I'm not even going to touch them. Let's put them in. Right, one spark plug down. That would have been very painful to watch. It might be a bit easier from the top. Alright, I ended up getting the airbox out. I have also disconnected the pitch stop mount, and as you can tell, I've taken this sharp fat bit off to the airbox. It feels like this engine sits a bit higher than the GT, but anyway, I'm confused. There's side feed injectors. Did they do side feed injectors on XT? No, because my GT, it doesn't have side feeds. It's very strange. Comment down below. I'm still not sure on this engine. Anyways, I'm going to get these coils out, get the spark plugs out, and swap them over. Alright guys, they are swapped over. Now I've just got number 4 to do. So I'm going to pull this out. Alright guys, I've got all of the spark plugs in. Here's the old ones. Right, now we're going to do the STI engine mounts, which are right there, sitting on top of the stage 2 cams. Alright guys, so I'm about to do the STI engine mounts. I've got the engine crane here, got it all the way to the N1. Just so I've got more room under there with the legs, because I've got to be under there. So I'll go loosen off the engine mount to the frame, or the cross member, and then I can get to 2 of the 4 14s, so I'll undo those ones and then we'll lift it up. I'll chuck a block of wood under it to make sure nothing falls on me, and we'll undo the other ones. Alright, so before I go ahead and start pulling it all apart, I'll open up the STI engine mounts and we'll have a look at them. Bracket. Wrapped up nice. Part number guys, if you can see that. The thing with the CI on it. There you go guys. It's a pretty solid mount. As I say, I could just swap this, but you need to get the whole thing off. So we'll just do the whole thing, obviously. And this is the left side. Now we'll start pulling the old ones out. Alright, we have the left one out, and it doesn't seem too bad. I will replace it though. I'll keep that for maybe the GT. Alright, new one assembled. Let's take the nuts off that one. So that's ready to go back in. Alright boys, both engine mounts look just fine. Yeah, we'll put it all back together, go out for a quick drive. Maybe got dodgy drive shafts. We'll find out though. Alright, car is back on the ground, so it's easy for me to work on. So we'll get the airbox back in, all hooked up, and go for a drive. It's like midnight now. Alright, so everything is back together. We've got the pitch stop mount on, we've got the earth next to it that I took off, box is all back on. The rubber grommet here is missing, which I think it's always been missing. They're back on, that's plugged in. Right. Yeah, it's 12:05. So I'm gonna go move the missus car and go for a quick little drive. Yeah, it's still doing it. Look, I took a video last time on the left hand drive shaft, but I didn't take one on the right. Now, I do have a right hand drive shaft there, so maybe tomorrow I'll swap it back over to the old one and see if that's the issue. Oh, we got the bubble. Well, that sucks, but I'll try the drive shaft tomorrow after work. Alright guys, so it's a lot better, mainly because it's more rigid. I can still feel it a little bit. So I'm going to take the GoPro to work today. I'm going to get the car up onto the hoist, and I'll put the GoPro on the right hand side to have a look at the drive shaft. So let's go do that. Alright guys, as you just saw then, underneath the car, we were actually wobbling quite a bit left to right towards the back of the gearbox. So went back to work, put it up on the hoist, and I can move it. So I went and bought a engine mount or a transmission mount, so the rear one. So let's jack up the car and replace that, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that fixes the issue, because it has actually gotten a lot better since I changed the engine mounts to the STI mounts. So maybe it's just a bit of slop in the old mounts. Alright, look at that. I don't know if that's how it is from factory, but it's let's have a look at the new one. Right, so this one isn't a genuine one. I only did this video, the driving video today. Went across the road to the part shop and they could get this in the afternoon, so yeah, it's not open yet. Alright, look at the difference. Look at all that rubber in there, and no, it's not thin. Look how wide it is. And it's actually a lot better. Now, I was also looking at the STI one, which is solid all the way through here. It's the same thickness all the way through. Now, I have noticed I can feel the engine a lot more with the STI stiffer engine mounts, so I don't want to go too crazy because it is a daily. Now, I'll probably have to get some new STI ones for the GT, the twin turbo one. Yeah, I think, yeah, these mounts are just, they've had their day, they're worn out. Put this back in, it's pretty easy. I'll show you. So yeah, all 14mm bolts and nuts, and just dropped it down and could get it out, so didn't have to drop any cross members. I've got a jack stand there holding up the gearbox just in case. We do still have this cross member on as well, just in case anything happened. That one was the thing. So let's get the new one back on and go for a drive. Alright guys, the mount is on. That's probably the easiest thing I've done on this car so far. That was pretty quick. So, just gonna get it off the jack stand and then we'll go for a drive. Alright guys, it's not fixed. It's better, but it's not fixed. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get back and let's see if I can get a roadie. Don't notice it. And I'm gonna have to look at all the other things that I've done and change it up. So maybe tomorrow night I'll have a look at swapping over one of the drive shafts with one of the other one I've got, the good one, and seeing if it's an unbalanced drive shaft. Yeah. Look, the engine mount, gearbox mount, they were looking pretty tired. It's feeling a lot better too. It's not as shaky at idle, which, you know, if you can move your gearbox quite easily with your hand, I think they're getting a bit tired, but it's happening right now. The bubble. Yeah. Alright, so I just had a quick look at these drive shafts, and this inner one is completely out. It's not even in there properly, and just like this one. Put the boots on it. So I can't put them in. Maybe I'll pull them out and see if they have the retainer clip on to make sure. Could be backing out just a little bit. So what, under load, so what, when the front comes up a little bit, like pull out just a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, I'm stumped with this one. Thanks for watching guys. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, please consider hitting the subscribe button, and I'll catch you next episode. Bye.